All right, so once again, our last two sections for this class as far as new material is concerned. 8.1, 8.2, 8.1 is central tendency. 8.2 is dispersion. So let's go to 103. Here we go, measures of central tendency. Once again, it's 8.1 for you guys, not 13.1, but it's had the same material. So the first thing we're looking at is the mean, which is another word for average. So in statistics, mean and average, mean the same thing. So just like you would find the average, to find the mean, you will add up all of your data values, divide by the number of data values that you have. All right. So if my data set was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I will add those numbers up and divide by 5. I have 5 numbers, so divide by 5. So that'll be 15 divided by 5, which is 3. So the average, or in other words, the mean is 3. Everybody good with that? Scroll up. Good. All right, if I'm scrolling up and you still copying, let me know. All right. So your median is, you can think about the middle value, median, middle. So first thing you want to do is list all of your data values from least to greatest. That is always the first move. A lot of times people forget that move, but that is always going to be your first move. List all of your data values from least to greatest. Then if the number of data values is odd, take the middle value, because if you have an odd number of data values, there will be a middle value. But if the number of data values is even, you take the mean of the two middle values. So if you have an even number, then you know you don't have an actual middle value. So you're going to take the two middle values, add them together, and divide by 2. All right. All right, so we look at the first data set. So data set 1, once again, if I have the data set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 5 data values. So that means I have a middle number, and that middle number will be 3. So that's the median of that data set. That's the data value that splits the data set in half, your middle value. All right. Second data set, if my data set was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so there's not a legit middle value because I have an even number of data values. So what I would do is take the two middle values, which is 3 and 4, add them together, divide by 2, and that'll give me 3.5, and that will be my median. If you notice, 3.5 is in between the 3 and the 4. So we'll split your data in half. All right, questions on that? Make sure we're okay. If you have an odd number of data values, no calculation, just choose the middle value. If you have an even number of data values, you take the two middle values, add them together, and divide by 2. That would be your median. All right. All right, so the mode, you can think about most or most frequent. That's the data value that appears the most frequently. It is possible to not have a mode at all. It is possible to have more than one mode. Bimodal is having 2 modes. Multimodal is having more than 2 modes. All right, any problems, any questions? All right, so if I had this data set, 1782357669147456789, the mode would be 7 because 7 appears the most out of all, or the most frequently. All right, any problems with that? And that's it for 8.1. Make sure we're good before we go to 8.2. All right, we good. Can I go to the next one? Everybody straight? All right. Dispersion. 8.2, measures of dispersion. So dispersion is the degree to which data is spread out. First thing they talk about when it comes to dispersion is your range. So you have your largest data value minus the smallest data value. So we have this data set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. That would be your range. All right. Any problems with that? Everybody good? All right. Standard deviation. It measures how far a data value is from the mean, or how far a data value is from the average. All right. Your variance is the standard deviation squared. And it's just another way to measure the spread of data. All right. So everybody good with that? All right. So you guys don't have to do notation, but here in the red, I do want you to, I'm not going to hold you to the process, even though there's an assignment, one of your homework assignments that I'm going to walk you through to make sure you're okay with how to do it. But I'm not going to hold you to the process of knowing how to calculate the standard deviation. But you do want to have something that's reliable that will calculate it for you. That, you know, you just put in the data values and hit enter and you'll be good to go. One that I've used and know is reliable is easycalculation.com. Not asking you to purchase a new calculator, not asking you to purchase an app. There are free apps, there are free calculators on the internet. All you have to do is Google standard deviation calculator or variance calculator. Whatever, if you do standard deviation calculator, normally the variance come along with it. And like I said, easycalculation.com works well. Just an example, use it or not. So here's a way you can test it. Take 2, 4, 7, 12, 15. and make sure you get these values for your standard deviation. If you have any issues with that, any issues with using easycalculation.com, questions period about it, just let me know. You have time to make sure you have something reliable. But like I said, I'm not holding you to the process of knowing how to use that formula, but make sure you have something reliable that can calculate the standard deviation and the variance for you. All right, any questions on that? All right, is everybody good? Can we go to the next page? Make sure we're good. Anyone still copying? You straight? All right. So now there was one homework assignment I want to make sure you guys are good on before I say we're done. It was out of 8.2, and it says find the mean. Oh, let me write it like this. Oh, that's not what it says. All right, so they tell us, like I said, this is coming out of 8.2, one of the homework problems out of 8.2. It says find the mean, find the deviation from the mean for each data item, and the sum of the deviations. This process that they're walking you through actually is the process to calculate the standard deviation. But like I said, you don't necessarily have to hold true to that. But this is something that they're asking you to do. So we have the data set of 7, 77, 42, 7, and 112. And you want to find the mean. So we're going to add these data values up. But just notice I had 2 sevens. Yeah. So 7, 77, yeah, those together. Plus 7, plus 77. That would be 245 over 5, which is 49. All right, so that's A right there. Just add them all together, divide by the number of data values that you have. That's the mean. Now B, we want to find the deviation from the mean for each data item. So I guess we can create a little bit of a chart. So we have 7, 77. All right, so you want to calculate the deviation of each item, you're going to take the data item and subtract the mean from it. So this would be 7 minus 49, negative 42, minus 49. That's going to be what, 28. 42 minus 49, 7. All right, so negative 42, 28, negative 7, 42. All right, so that's the deviation from the mean. Problems with B. All right, so C, the sum of deviations. So you're just going to add all those together. Just equal. Yeah, don't have enough room here. That's 0. Yep. Hmm. 91, 42, 89. Yep. All right. So sum of your deviation, 0. All right. Questions on those three pieces? What they're asking of you, terminology, anything? All right. So that's it for 8.1 and 8.2. And like I said, that's it for the new material. So from this point forward, we will, let me see, I haven't posted an exam review yet, so I'll post that. And we'll be looking to get ready for the final. Also, as we continue to meet, how long the class go from this point forward pretty much will be determined. Well, it'll be dictated by you guys because I'll just be answering questions. So if you have those questions, make sure you come to class so we can knock them out and make sure that you're good.
So, is it okay if I go over the Mymathlab homework and then the ones I don't get on Thursday, we could just go over it?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure. Yep. Why is this not? I see this. I'm looking at something that says access denied. Trying to figure out why it won't let me. It might have kicked me out. Hold on one second. Trying to see something before I let you guys go. Hopefully I have access to it. Oh, okay. All right, cool. It just kicked me out, that's all. So edit. Yeah, so according to Mymathlab, the final should only take you about 50 minutes. But you'll have your 2 hours. But yeah, so I was just looking at it, see 30 questions. Might take some out, we'll see. But anyway, yep. So like your classmate mentioned, if you go through Mymathlab and you have problems on any problems or exercises, feel free to bring them to class and we can just talk about them, make sure you're good, and move from there. All right. So don't forget you have 3 tests that you guys need to knock out. Test 1 was chapters 1 and 2. Test 2 was chapter B4. No, it's 4 tests. You know what? Because I broke up that third test into 2 to make them 2 shorter tests. So chapter 3 and chapter 6 initially was 1 test by itself, but I broke it up into 2 tests. And that helps with you with making the test way less, So yeah, so you have 4 tests, um, and then we'll do that final. All right. So question and all of that is due by May 7th. I think that is our date. SIS. Say May 9th. Okay, so I can give you guys the weekend. It says May 10th. So I can give you all the May 9th since we don't meet on Monday. So May 9th. So I'll change that. So it'll give you the weekend. And so that Sunday will be the last day you can submit any of your assignments. All right. Anything else? Anybody else before we close out? Everybody good? All right. So you guys have a good one. Be safe. Once again, I will be here at the appointed time on Thursday. I'll be honest. If you are good, I'm not gonna hold you hostage. I'm not gonna make you come to class. If you're good, then you don't necessarily have to come. Just know that be looking for that email wherein I shoot the date out for your final exam date, because I'm probably going to reinforce that each class just to let you know what date that's going to be. Haven't looked at the schedule yet, but I most definitely will have it for you by next class. What official day our final exam will be on. It'll probably be that first week in May, that Thursday first, because we only meet one day, which is Thursday. So it'll probably be that first week in May, that first Thursday in May. But you guys have a great week. Be safe, and I will see you on next Thursday.
Thank you.
All
Good
right.
night.
Thanks. You do the
Bye.
same.
Thank you.
Thank you. You take care.